All right. Hey guys, welcome to our team call. It's Tuesday night, the last Tuesday in January. Can you believe it? I cannot even believe we're into February already. Crazy, right? Well, welcome to the team call. If you don't know me, my name's Lori Hart. I've been drinking ketones now, and I've been part of Prove It actually for 4 years this month. Makes me excited. I actually joined. I joined right around at the end of December, so this would be my fourth full year here with Prove It, and I love it more and more every single day. So I'm glad you're here. I'm a mom from Boston. I live out in Boston. I have two daughters and a grandson who's two, and I haven't seen him in about a week because he's had the flu. And I don't know about you, but I think everybody's had the flu this past couple of weeks. I've been hearing a lot about that. So let's stay well. And thank you. I love you too, Amy. And I'm going to have Nick pop on tonight, and he's going to go through some of the things that we need to know about coming up for the next week and just how to end the month strong, you guys. So I'm excited to head into February. February is a great month, but I want to end this month really strong. So, hey, Nick, are you there?
Yes, I am. What's happening,
Hello.
everybody? How's it going? Good to see your faces. I'm really excited for tonight's call. We have a lot of great stuff to share with you. Amber is going to come on here at the end and go through a fun challenge for everyone to participate in. Something that simple enough that everybody can do it, but challenging enough that it's going to hopefully push you out of your comfort zone a little bit. Um, Carol from Kentucky. Type where you're from if you haven't yet, so I can see where everybody's at. I love geography, and I love how geography just we're all far apart, but yet we're all so close together. So, Tennessee, Kentucky, you guys are close to each other. Houston, Pennsylvania, Wisconsin. We got lots of Tennessee in the house. Um, Wyoming, that's a different one. Indiana, New York, West Virginia, Arizona. There we go. We got the West Coast represented. I know Amber's over in Oregon. Another New York. We got Lori in Massachusetts. This is cool. We got the country covered. I was on the phone today with somebody. I think Wendy's on the phone here. Where you at, Wendy? Where'd she go? I swear I just saw her name. I was on the phone with Wendy today, and Wendy is in Fort Wayne, Indiana. And Wendy shared ketones with a coworker who said, my husband is into that. Maybe he should do it. He bought an iFast from her, did an iFast last week when we did the iFast. She invited him to a call, and then we just had a conversation with him, and he's excited about sharing ketones. And it was just a lesson of like simplicity, a lesson of you don't know who's going to lead to who. You just have to be excited, open, and ready to share. Um, so I wanted to start out tonight by just reflecting on this month because I feel like a broken record at every beginning of the month. I'm like, "Oh my gosh, I can't believe it's February." And then at the end of the month, like, "Oh my gosh, I can't believe it's the end of February." And you get to the end of the month, you look back at like, "What the heck did I do? Did I do anything productive? Did I do anything that was meaningful?" Because we get into this cycle or this just continuous rote weeks, rote days. Um, and one of the things that my kids started doing, and I don't remember if it was Christina that shared this idea with us or what, but Chrissy started doing it with our girls recently, is at the end of every week, writing down like what was a highlight from that week. And then there's a little jar, and so they write down whatever the highlight of that week, they put a date on it, and they put it in the jar. Well, at the end of the, month, end of the quarter, end of the year, you can pull out the jar and you just like start to go through it and you're like, wow, I did a lot of great stuff um, because you forget about it in the moment. It all just seems to have gone by. But if I look at the this month, I actually did a lot of great stuff. Like I had a lot of productive time. I had a lot of great new conversations. But sometimes we go so fast through life, we kind of forget about it. And then we get to the end, we're like, all right, what just happened? We get to the beginning, we're ready to charge and run into the next month. So I want to take a minute and I want us all to reflect on January because as we reflect on what we've done, we can celebrate the things that we did well and that we did a lot of. We can also find opportunities to shift a little bit into the next month. So I want you guys to self rate, self assess, And the purpose of these assessments, we used to do this a lot last year. We're going to bring it back. Is the purpose of this assessment is really for you to identify areas that you can focus on, and really just dial in. So, on a scale of 1 to 5, I love the 1 to 5 scale. On a scale of 1 to 5, 5 is always the top, one's the bottom. How did you do at having new conversations? New conversations, like talking to new people. One meaning, man, I had like 3 or 4 or 5. 5 meaning, man, I talked to at least 30 or more people. I had tons of new conversations. I had a plethora of them. Where are you guys at? All right, drop it in the comments. We got 1, 1, 5 for Amber. That's great. 2.5, Christina. 3, Rosie. 2, 4.5, 1, 3. Awesome. Awesome. For those of you that are less than a 4, or really at any stage, what's one thing that you can do going forward, starting today or tomorrow, to go from a, oh, Chrissy's birthday is on Friday, and I was not home. Callie had to sign for a special present that she doesn't know about, and she's about to come home, so she has to hide it. You want to say hi? This is my daughter Callie. She's 11. When we started this business, she was 2. She's grown up drinking ketones and hearing me talk about them. All right. So, what's one thing that you can do to increase that number of new conversations? Type it in the chat. Write it down. I want to know, like, what's an area that you can focus on? What's something that you know you can do that you haven't been doing? And if this is something you're like, man, I just don't know, Nick, this is an opportunity for you to message with your sponsor and say, hey, let's do a call. I'd love to figure out how I can have more conversations. Um, let's see, meet more people, Chris. Where are you going to meet those people? Would be my question to you. Story viewers and use the recruiting scripts. Okay, Christina. So consistently messaging those people, post more about your transformation. I think you can do that, Amber. You're going to crush that. Mandy says follow up. We're getting to follow up. Get loud and about. Get out and about. I mean, Lori, you are masterful when you get out of the house. Find excuses to go get out of the house. Follow up on people that like your post. So message the people that have liked your post and begin conversations. More fun, so the energy is around you. That's good. Have a keto life party. Use what I learned in trainings. Great. Start doing the thing. Okay, that's good. Sometimes we just have to get out of our own way. All right, these are great. So I want you to have something. I want you to have one specific thing. Is I'm going to do more lives. I'm going to go to 3 different gyms this month and try out new classes. I'm going to go to a networking event. I'm going to, you fill in the blank, whatever it is. I want you to have something written down, and I'm going to have you write these down. I'm going to have you text these to your sponsor, whoever you're working with, after this call, so that that we can do it. Maybe I'm going to start going through my phone and messaging people the question, hey, are you drinking ketones yet? Like, does everybody in your phone know about ketones? Have you asked them that question? If I took your phone and I started working your business for you, would I massively create success because I'm not scared of those people? Join a local Rotary Club. There you go. Love it, Deborah. All right. Next question is on a scale of 1 to 5, how was your consistency in social media? 5 meaning, man, I posted every single day. I've never missed. I always had story tiles, at least 3 to 5 of them. I went live a couple times a week. I put up reels. 1, you're like, Facebook, what's that? Instagram, what's that? And I know that there's definitely ways to build this business, right? In person, on social media. But at the end of the day, you need to have a baseline of consistency on there, because the way the people that you meet out in public are going to stalk you, decide if they know you, like you, trust you, is probably via your social media profile. All right, we got some 4s. We got a 5, 4.8. There you go, Christina. That's good. That's specific. Kendall, a 2, 3, Charlene, 5, Deborah, 1, Amber. All right. The whole purpose of these self-assessments is just for you, right? I don't really care what number you write down. You could write down an 18 for all I care. But I want you to consciously think about this, because part of asking this question is a lot of times we don't ask the question to ourselves. Your brain is brilliant. When you ask your brain, hey, how did I do on this? Your brain starts to present answers. So I see a lot of twos, threes. Now, what's something that if you're a two, Sherry Trina, how can you take it to a three? If you're a 4.5, Audrey, how can you go to a five? If Charity, if you're a three to a four, what's going to take you to a 4/5? Um, type that in the comments. Write that in your notes. I want to know. And here's what I'm finding: the a lot of times we seek to make excuses and we seek to find reason why we can't or why we didn't. Meaning, man, I need more training on social media. Man, if only I knew the secret on making reels. Man, if only I was better at, then I would be more successful. And what I found is the information and the resources are at our fingertips, right? The social media training that we had this weekend, if you were on it, you got value out of it. The boards app, if you have it here, you can, like, there's no reason that if you're plugging in, you can't figure it out. I've watched people who have zero social media skill all of a sudden be able to do it. I've taken a dude who's 41 years old like myself and has never been on social media and had a dumb phone, like a phone that didn't even scan his face or his finger. Um, and I told him this is what you need to do, and he just went and learned it. Why? Because he had desire, right? He had drive. So it wasn't the lack of training that existed. It all existed out there. He actually spent the time in it. He just decided that, and he was committed to it. So a lot of this with social media isn't what's the secret post to put up? It's did you do the post, right? When I got started as the keto dad, I sucked at doing lives, for lack of a better term. I was not amazing, right? But I did it anyways. And then I did it again and I got feedback and I did it again and I got feedback. And now 7,639 lives later, I am pretty darn good at them. So the question is, do you want to become world class or not? And then how do you do that? You fail forward and at the same time you plan to do your review. Do a bunch of lives, ask somebody to watch them and say, hey, how can I do this better? And they'll probably give you some good feedback. Um, cool. So I love all these. On the next one is follow up. Scale of 1 to 5. This is one where I usually find a lot of opportunity. How is your follow up? 5 meaning, man, you are a follow up queen. You've invited everybody to every call that we've had. You've messaged people with different, videos for them to watch. You've connected them with your sponsor. You've, anybody that you've talked to, they've at least been hit until they've told you no. Um, you're persistently consistent. And 1 meaning like, hey, you messaged them once and then they didn't buy, so you didn't message them again. And I find that this is usually where we can fall short because we always get in our head. We start to think, "Oh, they don't want this. Must be me. They think I'm crazy. They think I'm in one of those things." And then the reality though is that they're busy. The reality is they just have a lot going on and they haven't made the decision yet, so they're not getting back to you yet. The reality is they're pretty darn interested. This guy Jim that we were just on the phone with, he said he was interested like 10 days ago, and then for whatever reason, he had life going on and never got back to Kendall. And it wasn't, she like, I was messaging her. She's like, I'm not sure. His wife said he was interested, but he hasn't messaged us and blah, blah, blah. Well, 10 days later, finally, he's ready to get on the phone. Well, she didn't take no for an answer. She just kept checking in, checking in. Hey, are you ready to talk? Hey, what's going on? And it came to be. So, um, 4, I see a wide variety of numbers. Charity's a -5. All right, Charity, that's good that you've identified that. Now we know what you can work on. um, we have opportunities to follow up. We have one coming up on Thursday night, guest call. Guest call, I think, I don't know who's hosting it. Amber, are you hosting that one? Yeah, Amber and Lynn Knowles. It's going to be amazing. Like, woman power. It'll be just a powerful call for somebody to be on to learn more about our product and our business. This is an opportunity, Charity, for you to go from a -5 to a +3, like instantly. How? You're going to go through your entire database of people that you've ever talked to about ketones, and you're going to say, oh my goodness, what are you up to on Thursday night? We're doing an awesome call to really talk about how ketones are helping people crush their health goals in January. I know we haven't chatted for a long time. I think you're gonna love this. If I got you the details, would you want to hop on? It's gonna be amazing. And if you send that message to 30 people, to 20 people, you're going to have people that respond, "Hey, I can't be on, but I'm interested. Hey, I'm so glad you reached out again. Man, I thought you were going to call me after you talked to me in October, but I haven't heard from you." You're going to say, "Oh my gosh, I can't believe I didn't. Guess what? This stuff's amazing." Right? We all have people like that. And you just got to, it's just time to persistence with the smile. Use persistent language. If you feel yourself getting frustrated, nice teeth, Lori, because they are not, you too, Sherry, because they're not responding or not buying, then you have to change your energy because you're repelling them. But if you start to take the aspect of grace, of understanding, of awareness that everybody's worldview is different than yours. Did y'all know that? We all have different worldviews. We all perceive the world around us differently. We could be in the exact same room watching the exact same show and we see and hear it completely differently. Why? Because our brains are wired 100% differently. So that being said, everybody's going to view ketones differently than you, and their time and experience and being ready to get started is just going to be different. So I always chalk it up to, hey, they're just figuring themselves out, and I'm presenting this as much as I can until they're not ready, or until they tell me they're not interested. So persistence with a smile, follow up, follow up, follow up till they buy or die, is my usual mantra, in a nice way. All right. Last thing is scale of actually two more things. Number one is scale 1 to 5. How has the focus on your own health journey been? 5, you're crushing it. You're following. You did the iFast with us. You're drinking your ketones twice a day. You're really focused on dialing in your diet. You're moving your body. You're getting great sleep. 1, you know, you ate donuts, pizza, and all the things yesterday, and you haven't gotten off the couch. Cool. No judgment. This is great. I'm seeing a lot of 3s and 5s and 4s. If you're less than a 3 to 5, no problem. Identify something you can do differently starting today, right? To shift that number. This is not a community that if you fall off the wagon, I say good luck catching up. No, get right back on the stinking wagon. I think we had Chrissy coined a term years ago. She said hashtag there is no wagon, because people always message us. I fell off the wagon. I couldn't get back on. She's like, hashtag there's no stinking wagon here. It's you just taking one step at a time. So hashtag there is no wagon. If you are in that state, that's awesome. Just let's make some different choices tomorrow and let's get after it. And as we're getting after it, let's share it, right? Let's promote it. Let's talk about it. The more vocal you are about how you're getting healthy and how you're crushing it, the more people are going to be excited about it. My challenge to anybody on here that's well, charity time to minus 220. It's time to just get back on it, right? Here's a challenge: start picking up some things that are heavy. You listened to Dr. Jacob last night about muscle, and as we age, we lose a pound, or not a pound, we lose a percent of our muscle mass every single year. Just one by one by one by one by one by one, our muscle just starts to atrophy. And the number one way that as a woman you can have strong bones and like live longer is to have muscle. My challenge to all of you guys is uh, pick up something heavy and then share it, like talk about it, because that is an easy way to. You could even say, challenged on a Zoom last night to pick up something heavy, and maybe you're holding your dog, um, or maybe you're holding your husband, um, or you went to Target and you bought 10-pound dumbbells, and maybe you're going like this 20 times. If you go to the YouTube and you type in dumbbell. I tried this because I always tell people, and I'm like, I'd never actually done that, so I need to make sure I'm not full of crap. So I went to YouTube and I type in dumbbell exercises for women over the age of 40, and there were like hundreds of videos that I could watch. All of them were pretty darn good, anywhere from 5 to 20 minutes. It's insane how much free stuff is out there. Start doing it, start teaching it. Easy one, right? Starting with a trainer tomorrow, Trish. That's awesome. All right, last one. Scale of 1 to 5 is your personal growth, like your self-development. This starts with the innate statement, your identity statement. It continues with reading something good. It continues with your focus during the day. It continues with your thoughts, how you're talking to yourself. All the things that we teach and we talk about on a consistent basis inside of the Prove It community. Scale at 5, meaning you're crushing all that. 1, you've just been having some stinking thinking. And type it in the chat. Some 4s, that's good. 3, okay, Kendall. 1, okay. So here's the good news. It doesn't matter where you're at. This one is the fastest and easiest to fix. Everybody smile. Look at that. You just went up a 0.3. Go like this. I've been reading. If you want a really good book to listen to or read, I have one for you. It'll rock your world. I wish I would have read it 5 years ago. It's called Fast Like a Girl. And no, I'm not a girl. There you go. Lori got it. She got the copy. Perfect. I'm telling you, you'll learn more, and what you'll learn in that book validates everything that we've been teaching and everything you've heard Dr. Jacob and Dr. Ryan, who are not women, but that's written by a woman. Which just like it's clear. She overcomplicates it a little bit, but for the most part, it is the most comprehensive book about fasting, about eating low carb, about just all the health stuff that we talk about. But one of the things she talks about in that book is oxytocin, which comes from when you have love, comes from smiling, and what we just did is change the hormonal structure of your body, make you feel different. So, scale of 1 to 5, if you decide that you want this, like if you want the business to work, this is the number one piece that you got to take control of. If you're a 1, 2, or a 3, I'm grateful that you selected that number because that's the awareness aspect. And if we're aware of where we're at, then we can move forward. The worst is being a 1 or a 2, not being aware that you're in a state that isn't supportive of your goals. You're in a state where you're focused on the lack or what you're not creating. That's where we don't want to live. If you're there and now you're aware, well, that's the first step. Now that you're aware, now you can say, hey, what do I want to focus on? Where do I want to go? It's powerful stuff. So hopefully that is helpful. I want you to take those pieces and like, what are you going to do to improve in each area, or how are you going to do it differently here as we close the month, right? Because if we're intentional with our time in the next 4 days or 3 days, we can accomplish a lot, right? We can accomplish a lot. So in order for us to do that, I have Amber on. She's going to talk about a fun little challenge that we have for you guys. Prove It still has bingo going on, right? So we have those bingo cards. Make sure that you're getting those done. Follow the directions on those. Submit them to Prove It. Amber is going to share with us just a really quick challenge around social media for our team just to be consistent over the next week. I really want to dial in our consistency. And we have the Thursday night call that's coming up, and then you'll just stay tuned to your pulses. We'll have a lot more stuff coming here as the weeks go by. So Amber, how is it going? And I'm excited for you to share with us just a little bit about this consistency challenge.
Awesome. Thank you, Nick. I am excited and super thankful for being able to evaluate and just being aware of where I was lacking last month and where I need to go to hit my goals. So my name's Amber Horn. I live out in Oregon and I'm a mom of 6. I've been with the Prove It community now for over 4 years, and I love to get on these calls. I love your energy. I love being a part of this community. It's impacted my life in a lot of ways, as well as drinking ketones. So that's just my quick intro. So about 5 years ago, I started on social media. At the time, I had everything locked down as private. I didn't want anyone to find me on social media. So I like locked out the ability for anyone to even tag me or search my name. I was not in a good space. And I started posting on TikTok of all things. And it was about when COVID was starting. And I really found that I started getting my confidence back. It was something that I was lacking for a long time. And I started posting every single day. And as I was consistent, I got more confident. And also, as I was consistent, I started learning how to. So I showed up originally super messy, had no clue what I was doing, didn't really want people to see me. In fact, I thought in my mind, if I was over on TikTok, nobody I knew was actually going to find me, because I was that insecure about where I was, really where my weight was, where I was as far as my mental health. So I just started posting and having fun. And soon I just started getting confident, and I wanted to post every day, and I wanted to show up because I wanted to learn the new trend or learn the new skill. And pretty soon, 5 years later, I feel like I've really fine-tuned the craft of posting online, but I didn't start there. I started with not having a clue what I was doing. And it's been a really cool journey, and I am really excited because I think consistency is the key on social media. Nick talked about it. It wasn't when I first started and started gaining followers, it wasn't the content I was creating. It was the fact that I was posting every single day and I was showing up as myself, and people wanted to follow. They like to follow messy, right? It makes them feel better about themselves. So don't mess up good for perfect, meaning don't feel like you have to have the perfect post or the perfect hook or the perfect call to action. You don't. You just got to post. So that being said, we are going to do a consistency challenge like Nick mentioned, and it's going to reward consistency. So I wrote it all down here. I'm going to have it a little graphic, and I'll post that in the chat a little bit later, just so you know exactly what we're rolling out. So let me see here. All right. So it's called Consistency Counts 7-Day Social Media Challenge. So it starts tomorrow, January 28th, and it's going to go through next Tuesday, February 3rd. All right. And we're going to reward consistency. So we've got 3 different levels that you can choose from, 3 different paths. We've got kind of the good path. It's the kickoff to your consistency. And if you want to follow that path, you're going to want to post on social media 5 out of the 7 days. All right. Doesn't matter what platform, pick a platform, and just start posting. And we're going to provide some content ideas. We really just want to keep it simple though. We don't want to, this isn't like learn how to be the best at social media challenge. This is just show up to social media challenge, and you will learn your craft as you do that. So the better approach is you are leveling up your consistency. You will post all 7 days to hit the better mark. So we've got good 5 out of 7, better 7 out of 7. And then we've got your best, which is crushing consistency. And that's posting 7 out of 7 days, plus you're going to go live 3 times. All right. So your live could be your post for the day, right? So it doesn't have to be 7 posts and 3 lives. If you go live that day, it would count towards your post for the day. So 7 out of 7 and 3 lives. That is your best. That's the best method. So good, better, best. Ideally, you're going to want to just create a habit here. You're going to go for the 7 out of 7, and you're going to go live 3 times, which for me is kind of a challenge, because I love to create content from past photos and past B-roll. So I don't have to show up live each day, right? I don't like doing my hair and makeup and feeling like I look perfect, but that's not the point. And I'm just going to do it anyways. And I hope you can as well. Don't feel like you have to be looking perfect and feeling perfect. All right. So we've got some prizes that we want to give out. If you hit the better or best, right? Not the good, but the better or best, Nick is going to gift you a free shaker cup, a free shaker bottle. So that's exciting. It's not just going in a drawing to have the chance to win. You're going to get it. If you post 7 out of 7 days, and if you post 7 out of 7 and do your 3 lives, you're going to get gifted a shaker cup. Okay. And then the big grand prize is actually going to be a drawing. All right. And it's going to be a one-on-one personal coaching call. All right, for you and your business. I think it's with Nick. Is that correct, Nick?
Me or the champ of your choosing?
Oh, okay. So you can either talk to Nick, but if you want to see a pretty face, it could be a champ of your choosing. Sorry, Nick. Yeah, so that's a one-on-one coaching call, and we're going to have a drawing for that. So if you hit the good, you would get entered into the drawing 1 time. If you hit the better, you would get entered into the drawing 2 times. And if you do the best, you would get entered into the drawing 3 times. All right. So hopefully that makes sense. We're going to, like I said before, we're going to provide some good resources in our chat so you can pull from. You don't have to create the posts. I know some of you are really good at it and some of you are really intimidated by it. So I know Mandy's put together a document with all kinds of post ideas, which is exciting, and we'll provide that. I think we're also going to create a little bit of excitement in the chat. So you can screenshot some of your posts that you've put up and you can drop it in the chat and kind of help each other, maybe with some engagement. People can go ahead and check other people's posts out and love and like, also get ideas from each other and just create some excitement. So it'll be a fun week with a consistency on social media challenge. I'm really excited about it because I honestly 100% believe that consistency is the key to crushing social media. A few ideas that I wanted to mention. If you are not comfortable going live and this is like a big step for you, I would recommend talking to somebody on your team or talking to somebody on our team that may want to interview you and you could tell your before and better story. Or you could kind of go back and forth. I know I did a dual live when I first joined it. I knew nothing about ketones. And your live doesn't even have to be about ketones, first of all. But if you do go live and you want to talk about ketones, I actually had like a special guest that I dual lived with, and I was able to ask them questions and say, hey, I've been drinking this for a little while. Why am I feeling so much energy? Why am I starting to lose weight? You know, how does this stuff work? And that person was able to be the expert for me. So I was connecting all of my viewers to somebody else on a live. So you could do that a few times. You could do a dual live. I'm sure your nearest champ would be more than happy to do that for you. So don't be intimidated by that. But do get your 7 posts up. Mandy's, like I said, created a lot of fun post ideas that you can put up. And I'm excited. So just keep in mind, we don't want all 7 posts to be about ketones. Ketones on Tuesday, ketones on Wednesday, ketones on Thursday. No, no, no. We want you to post within your niche and the things that you love, excited about, and not just about ketones, because nobody wants to follow that. Pretty soon you're going to get a lot of unfollows if you do that. So again, cookie jar or piggy bank analogy, make sure to put in a lot of value, a lot of things that people are going to love before you take out that quarter. If you don't know what the piggy bank analogy is, there's a whole training on it. It actually makes a lot of sense, and you can ask your nearest champ for that. But just give value, give entertainment, give people other things besides ketones. So you can post that every few days, and people aren't going to think that you're trying to sell them something. Anyways, I'm excited, and I think that's all the details. Like I said, I'll drop like a little graphic in the chat a little bit later tonight or in the morning for those that didn't get all of those details written out. It should be an amazing 7 days. So I'm excited. Back to you, Nick or Lori. I'm not sure.
Lori.
All right. Well, that was awesome. Amber, I love that. I'm so excited. I cannot wait to see what you guys create. Like, I'm going to be creeping on everybody's page. I can't wait. I'm excited. So you guys, lots to do, right? We still have a few days left. I mean, we still have 4 to 5 days left for this month. So I'm excited for this challenge. I can't wait to see what happens with it. It's going to be fun to see all your posts coming in. And again, if you have any questions or you're nervous or scared, I love that Amber mentioned, just get back to your nearest champ. They can help you. And you guys, social media is so much fun, but just stick it out. It takes time, right? I just want to encourage you that, like Amber said, be consistent every day. If you're posting once and then you don't post again for 4 days, and then you don't post again for 6 days, people aren't going to think that you're serious about what you're doing, right? So you got to get clear on what your niche is, who you're speaking to. And again, we have so much great training. Playbook was amazing. I'm hoping that you all were on Playbook because there was a lot to learn. And that'll all be in the new promoter group. So anyways, have some fun with it. Show up like your fun, authentic self and go for it. So, all right, I'm excited. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you guys again next week. Have a great night, everybody. Bye-bye.